Hello, this is Ben119 and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing part 4 of our Pikmin 3 Deluxe 100% walkthrough. So we're up to day 4 and we are going to be going to the distant tundra today. So I hope you enjoyed the last 3 parts. If you did, please leave a like on them and consider subscribing to my channel. And let's get right into it. Enough of bragging about subbing and likes. I usually do that at the end. I don't know why I decided to do it at the start. Oh well. But our main objective is to find the captain. You know, the very first captain we played as? Oh, there's a fruit. Cool. Yeah, I'll carry on making sure to tell you about fruits when I'm near one. But we've seen a fruit right there, and we're actually going to be getting that fruit later today. And Brittany fell out the ship. That's awful. But it leads to a pretty good game mechanic, and it leads to multitasking, so I'm alright with it, to be honest. I didn't particularly like Brittany that much. She's not dead, at least. To be fair, if Brittany was dead, it would be annoying because you wouldn't be able to complete the game because of a certain puzzle that needs 3 captains. It's not the fact that she's dead that would annoy me, it would be the fact that I couldn't complete the game. But never mind. Here we go. Yellow Pikmin. These were the Pikmin I was on about that are overpowered, that can do a lot of things. They can conduct electricity, which is... There's quite a few puzzles themed around electricity in this game. They're pretty easy puzzles, but they're pretty cool looking. It's a good idea, having them connect up like electricity, like that. And you're stuck in like this little cave for a bit, and you've got to grow some yellows. And once you have enough, you're able to break out of the cave, which is really cool. So you go, there's the yellow onion, and it will merge with the other onions at the end of the day. I like how they just merge into one big onion. I mentioned it before, but it's just a much better idea than having little onions. Yep, Pikmin can conduct electricity. Everything I'm saying here you can pretty much find out from data files anyway, so you could just ignore me and you'd pretty much have the same knowledge by the end of the Let's Play. You might have more knowledge because I might talk a bit about things you might not know, like hidden mechanics. For example, this is something that's not that well known, but if you're holding A to throw a Pikmin, you can cancel it with B. Say if you're holding a bomb rock and you think you have to commit to throwing the bomb rock but you don't, you can just press B to cancel out of it. It is helpful in a few situations, but it's not really used casually. In speedruns maybe, to like hold a Pikmin in your hand before throwing it at something so you can throw it quicker. So small things like that don't really affect casual play, but are just cool to know. There's things I do, and it's called pluck cancelling, and if you pluck a Pikmin out of the ground and you cancel it mid-animation, you can pluck it quicker than normal. It's not much quicker, it's probably like point something, but if you do it for every single one you pluck, you'll save quite a lot of time. It's just a cool little thing to know. And in this Pikmin game, you probably noticed this already, but you can pluck Pikmin before they've fully grown in the ground. In Pikmin 1 and 2 you have to wait for the stalks to be popping out to pluck them. That actually makes the most sense. I don't get why you can just do it straight away, but it's better because it's faster. And there we go, rolled the bowling ball down, and it broke through the gate. There's a few more bowling balls in this game. There's not many though, and I wish there was more because they're really cool. And they'd be really good puzzles, not only as obstacles, but like they'd be good as obstacles, I mean. But they're good for breaking through gates, but they'd be good if there were obstacles as well. Like you're going up a hill and one just rolls down at you from nowhere and you have to hide. Or your Pikmin will get crushed. That'd be really cool. But sadly that doesn't really ever happen. However, there is a few situations where there's cannon beetles shooting down rocks that can crush your Pikmin, so that's pretty much the same thing. But we found Alf, and our main objective today is to connect back to Alf, and the only way we can really do that is by building this big bridge. So what we've got to do is I've got yellows and he's got reds and rocks, and we've got to transfer the Pikmin between each other using multitasking. And yeah, we basically just got to use multitasking to build this bridge. If you don't get it done in one day, it doesn't really matter. Like there's no, I guess, punishments for letting Brittany starve a night, but you know, it's best just to get it done today, then we don't have to do it tomorrow. There we go, we killed the snitch bug. We've already seen snitch bugs on day 3. That just told you a bit about snitch bugs. Yellows are obviously the best for snitch bugs because they fall down. Because yellows throw the highest. Don't know what I'm trying to say. There's an electric gate just back there, and I threw a load of yellows on it. And yellows can take on electric gates. If any other Pikmin tries to take on an electric gate, it will just get stunned. So don't worry if you accidentally throw a red or a rock on a gate, because it won't die, it'll just get stunned. If it was Pikmin 2, it would instantly die though. So if you're playing Pikmin 2, and you have no idea what an electric gate is, just throw one Pikmin to be safe. Don't swarm the whole lot, just throw one. Like, losing one's fine, losing like a full army, not really fine. Let's get these data files while we're digging this cave. I like all these little things here, these little caves you can dig through. It just adds more life to each area in my opinion. It's just really cool. So we're going to give Brittany some Pikmin, because we saw some crystal on her side, so we do need a few rocks. I'll give her a few reds as well, because there's some enemies we need to take out. And I'm going to go back here, and I've got 10 yellows, and I'm going to use them for this gate. Fun fact, you can actually beat this entire area without knocking down that gate there. Even in all fruits, you could get all the fruits without knocking down that gate. But it's a pretty big shortcut back to base, so it's worth taking out, even in speedruns and especially in casual playthroughs. Because you'll be going through there quite a lot. There's a crystal here. Obviously you need 10 to break it, so go. Go down the slide. And before we get these bridge pieces, we're going to take out the crystal down here. You may be wondering, why are you doing that? Well, if we didn't take out that crystal, the Pikmin would take the long way around. And there are Jousmites on the other path, and the Pikmin run a risk of dying from the Jousmites, so we're going to kill the Jousmites first and open up the quicker path, because it's just easier. So we're going to use go here to go back to base as Alf, and as Brittany we're going to do this. I like how this area makes you think. In 2-player mode, this day actually works really well in 2-player mode, because you can both just do your own thing. You don't have to keep swapping between captains. If you're not good at multitasking, I think playing on 2-player with someone who's more comfortable with the game is a good idea, because it just makes it fun. You can play with someone who's never played it before, but you'll both be struggling, but that's fine if that's what you want to do. Here we go, get these bridge pieces. What I like to do is when there's a task like building a bridge that I have to wait for, I do something with another captain because it's the best time. Because there's nothing I can really do with Brittany at the moment anyway, because she's just waiting on Pikmin. Take out the fiery blowhog because he's in the way and we don't want him setting any Pikmin on fire. Break that. Whenever there's crystal or enemies, I just try and kill them straight away to just get them out of the way so I don't have to worry about them later. First fruit of the day, this cherry up here is quite hidden, I guess. It looks a bit like a decoration. You wouldn't necessarily think of it as a collectible. Well, you would if you saw other cherries, but yeah, it's a little bit annoying to grab here as well. You might have also noticed a data file up there, and in my opinion it's the hardest data file in the game to get. But on the next day I will show you how to get that data file. So there you go, we got the cherry. And we're going to kill this enemy here. Now fun fact, rock Pikmin cannot die from these things, so if you want to be safe, just take them out of rocks, because yeah, they won't die from it. Break through this gate, the rocks, like that. And there is a new thing in here. You see these flowers, and they're called candy pop buds. And whatever colour the flower is what colour Pikmin it makes. I'll show it off in a minute. But before we do, let's kill these slugs. Let's take out this thing so we can get up there. And let's get a data file. Yeah, it's telling us about candy pop buds right now. So I don't need any more reds. I'm actually lower on rocks than I am on reds, but I'm just showing you what it does. So here we go, it just makes Pikmin. I'm not going to show off all the other candy pop buds because you get the idea. And there is a little bit of missed potential with the candy pop buds for puzzles, because they could have made some really good puzzles. There is one good puzzle with candy pop buds, but I think they could have done a few more. But it's very good what they've done. There is a few good ones in Pikmin 1, or it's like 1 or 2, like puzzles with candy pop buds, and that game was a lot older than this. The puzzles in this game are still very good, but with Brittany we're just going to head back here and get the yellows. And where Brittany landed, there's actually crystal back here. You may have noticed it at first, but if you didn't, that's fine. And there are kiwi, so we're going to get the kiwi. And we're going to use go here to go back out. And we're going to wait for the kiwi to come back, and while we do that, we're going to play as Alf. So let's whistle our Pikmin, and I think we should go up here. Yep. Yeah, that gate is open. I think I got them Pikmin ages ago anyway. But see, it leads to this area here, and we come in here later on quite a bit for a reason that I'll get into another time. And we're going to use these bridge pieces, and I opened the gate down there, so the ones carrying the bridge pieces have got a quicker path back. That's another reason why you should open that gate. And I'm just waiting for stuff now. There we go, the Kiwi's coming out of the cave. And here we will see our first instance of Pikmin getting stuck. So if there's an obstacle in the Pikmin's way, they will just walk around in circles like that. I think that's a cool idea for the game. It's better than them just going back to where they found the fruit or not going at all. I'd rather just get to the obstacle like they do and just stop. If there's a captain nearby, it'd be ideal if they stopped carrying what they were carrying and went to the captain instead, but Pikmin aren't perfect. There's no way that they'll ever have perfect Pikmin AI. Even in like 2050, there'll be no such thing as perfect Pikmin AI. There'll always be one that doesn't grab something, no matter what. Some cannon beetles. I wait for them to breathe a snowball, and as soon as they do, I swarm. I think that's the best way to take them out. We're going to take that out first, but we don't want to go on that yet. Now, if you are doing a speed run, yes you do, but if you're playing casually, you don't, because it is quite dangerous. There we go, we've got a data file, enjoy reading it. It's from Captain Olimar. I wonder who Olimar is. If you've played Pikmin 1, you'll know who he is. And we're going to carry on going up here, and this is why you don't want to use the geyser straight away. It's because there's a whip tongue bulborb, and if you have no idea that it's up here, you could just get all your Pikmin, not all of them, but you could get like 5 or 10 eaten for like no reason. There we go, killed him. And we're gonna get these bridge pieces. Now I'm gonna save my yellows because yellows can be thrown higher, so we're gonna get this fruit while we wait. So you just need to throw 5 on it, and the fruit will fall down. Now you do need to put the Pikmin back on the fruit. They don't just automatically grab it, so you will have to re-whistle. There's a cherry there that we're getting. I think I mentioned the strawberry before. Like, I keep skipping over some fruits. I'm trying to get into the habit of not doing that, but if a fruit is really obvious, I may not talk about it. So you will have to look out. But any fruit where you have to do some kind of puzzle or go out your way, I will definitely talk about it. But if I just kill an enemy and I collect a fruit from it while talking about something else, then yeah, I may have missed out. But I'm trying to be as clear as possible with these fruits on where they are, so you should have no problem. I'm not getting any of them the unintended way, I'm getting them all the intended way, so there's nothing to worry about there. And the bridge is done. You may have just noticed that, so that's cool. We're going to carry these fruit back, because we can now. There we go. They're going to head back to base. And we're going to head over to where Brittany is, because you may not have noticed, but there was a ledge that needed a second captain. I guess just grow some more yellows. Let's throw some more on here. Oh, I know what they've done. I don't get it. Pikmin are stupid. Why do Pikmin do that? I didn't even walk that far forward, and they got stuck there. Are you kidding me? Like, Pikmin are really stupid in that way. They sometimes just get stuck on walls, and rather than walk around the wall, they try and just go straight towards where the captain is. Yeah, I just don't think Pikmin AI will ever be perfect. Like, even in 100 years' time, even though video games will be completely different in 100 years' time, Pikmin AI will still, it still won't work. There'll still be one that doesn't grab onto something. There'll still be one that gets left behind. There'll still be one that's doing nothing. But that's part of Pikmin. If Pikmin were perfect, I think I would actually get a bit annoyed. So there we go, this is the ledge we're on about. We need 20 to push this ball. There we go. Oh yeah, I was a little bit boring in this place here. There's a slide there you can go down. That the Pikmin, the ones carrying bridge pieces, go down that slide. I don't think I really showed it off. I'll have to make sure to show that off on the next time I'm here or the time after. I'll probably show it off on the final time I'm here, to be honest. But we opened a cave, and we're not going to go in there just yet because I want to do that on the next day because it's story progression. But for now, we're just going to grab a fruit, and we're going to grab an upgrade. And this is a, I forgot the name of this fruit here, but the way you get it is you throw a captain up here, and then on this stick or next to the captain you just throw a few Pikmin. he'll climb up. You can see there's a lemon over there off to the left, but we need blues or wings to get that, so we're not going to bother with that for now. We can just put the Pikmin on it and they just carry it back to base, and I can take a quicker route back to base because I can use the slide. It'd be good if the ones carrying it could use a slide. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't need any Pikmin. I got it in yellow anyway, so I didn't really want to make yellows because I got enough. I think I'll just head back to the yellow cave for now, see what the yellows are up to. Yeah, I'm not trying to do too much in the days. I want to do quite a bit, but at the same time I don't want to multitask everywhere and leave everything until there's barely any time left, because I want you guys watching to be able to keep up with what I'm doing. I don't want to overwhelm you. So I'm trying to keep all the days short and sweet. So even if I end some of the days with like about half the time left, that's probably why. Because I'm getting quite a bit done quite fast, because I know this game really well. I've speedrun this game. It's quite hard to play a game slow once you speedrun it. Like, if you've never tried speedrunning before, it may sound weird, but my favourite game to speedrun is Super Mario 64, and I tried to do a casual playthrough of the game, doing every star the normal way, not like long jumping anywhere, and you just can't do it. It just doesn't feel right. And it's almost the same with this game. This game's a little bit different. It's completely different type of game to Mario, but you do definitely play slower and calmer in a casual playthrough like this and trying to show everything off. So over here is the dodge whistle, and I threw the Pikmin on the mushroom to get across to it. It's a pretty cool puzzle, the mushroom, how you have to bounce them across. It's a little bit underused. Like, in this game, I think there's lots of really good puzzles. I should have said this in my review, to be honest, but in my review I talked more about the new changes rather than the actual game. But maybe I should do a second review where I talk more about the actual game rather than changes in the deluxe version. But back to puzzles, I think there's loads of really good puzzles and really good concepts shown through this game. But my one problem with this game is that it doesn't use enough of those puzzles. I think that's mainly because the game isn't quite long enough. If there was, because basically there's 5 areas in this game. This is a little bit of a spoiler, but the 5th area doesn't have any collectible fruit. The first 4 areas do, and they're all big and open like this one and the other ones I've been in. But the 5th area is fairly linear, and it's kind of setting up the final boss and the finale. But if there was 1 or even 2 would be even better. Just big areas like this, with loads of fruit to collect, loads of puzzles, loads of different environments, then I think this whole game would have been a 10. Because they would have put in more puzzles, they would have shown off more concepts. I just think the game would have got up to a 10 if it was for that, because a lot of problems I have with this game, with the puzzles, is that they're all amazing, but there's just not enough of them. Even though there's still quite a lot of them, there's just not quite enough there. But there we go, we got dodge whistle back, and we're pretty much done for today. There is other fruits we could technically get, but one, a lot of the fruits are quicker to get tomorrow because you can get other fruits with them at the same time. And 2, I just fancy ending the day. I just really want to end the day, because why not? But there we go, we didn't leave anyone behind, no one's died yet, which is cool. I highly doubt this will be a deathless completion. If it is, I will be quite shocked, because I've completed this game several times. I've completed it in 10 days before, which is the least amount of Pikmin days you can beat the game in 100%. And still to this day, I have not done it deathless, because of the last few areas, or last few parts of the game are quite difficult and you lose a lot of Pikmin. But definitely up to this point, I can easily go without losing Pikmin, but once we get to, like, I guess Twilight River, I will probably start to lose Pikmin around that point, or maybe even on day 6. But there we go, the yellow onion has merged, which is really helpful, because if it didn't, we'd have to keep going back to that cave. And yeah, it'd just be a bit annoying. But here we go, let's juice some fruits. Now, everyone watching this is probably going to complain at me because I don't speed up the cutscenes, but why speed up the cutscenes? Let's just enjoy life. Let's just take everything nice and slow. Let's just enjoy it. Let's just enjoy all the fruit being juiced. There's no point speeding it up. Like, what else are you doing in life that's so important that you can't wait? Let's just watch the fruit being juiced. Like, obviously I wouldn't watch it in really slow normally, because I'd either be speedrunning or I'd just be playing the game. But it's just a let's play, it's for fun. And you get to see how many juices it makes, because when it's going fast you can't always tell how many juices the fruit makes. If you're following this let's play and for some reason you're playing on a harder difficulty than normal, then you may get less juice from fruit. If you're playing on ultra spicy spray mode especially, you'll get less juice, so do bear that in mind, and you'll probably have about half the juice I've got already. That is the one good thing about that mode. Well, there's a lot of good things about the harder modes, but I'll talk about that in a different video because we're playing on the normal difficulty in this let's play. There we go, we got 20 juices, almost 3 weeks worth of juice, which is way enough to complete the entire game with. I think what should happen is, depending on how many captains you have, should be the amount of juice you drink each night. So once you have 2 captains, you have 2, once you have 3, you have 3, etc. It made the game a lot harder. Maybe that could have been a feature they should have added in Spicy Spray mode instead of the less juice. But yeah, that's just my opinion. We're at the end of the episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here. I mentioned the like and subscribe near the start, and I don't normally do that. I will probably not do that in future because I get annoyed at people who do that. But oh well, this has been fun to record. I enjoyed playing Pikmin, and I will see you in part number 5. Thank you.